Zidane Daney, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Nerd Chat here on Electro Ninja's Lab. I am here with my fellow host.
Joker.
Yeah, it took you a sec there. Usually Jack's the first one,
Sorry.
but he's sick today, so he's not going to be joining us. We did skip last week because of other situations with both of them, so yeah. But we are back with another Nerd Chat. This week we're going to talk about Gotham because Joker has finally decided to start watching it, which is, I think it's weird that you're just now starting it when it really feels like a show that you would have enjoyed like as it was coming out.
Yeah, well, the mission and other stuff. So
I mean, that's true. But you did have like the first few seasons were out like when we were in high school.
that's true.
And then
But I was told not to watch it in high school.
wait, what is it? It's rated TVMA, isn't it?
Well, that's the funny thing, because when it came on, it was on Fox, and it was rated TV-14. And then it went to Netflix, and Netflix changed the rating to TVMA. But then if you go on to everything else, like Tubi and Hulu, or not Hulu, HBO, it was rated TV-14. So they kept the original rating, while Netflix changed it to TVMA, which it really should have been TVMA.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. Like especially later seasons are really freaking dark. Okay,
Yeah, I've
so
been warned about, like, the Joker.
so I was like, wait, yeah, it was on Netflix, wasn't it? And I just looked it up. So apparently it's currently on Max. Um, and and then obviously you're watching it on Tubi for free.
Yeah.
Which
Either I pay for HBO Max or I just watch it for free where it's at.
yeah, since we already pay for HBO, it's just like, I'll just watch it there if I really want to sit down and watch it again. I have not watched Gotham in a while though I do have to say it was a really good show. I think honestly of the recent Batman stuff, I would say that Gotham is probably number one, followed by the Batman, because the Batman's just a really good movie. Have you seen that yet?
Yes, I've watched it like twice.
Fair enough.
But I personally like The Dark Knight better. But the Batman as a mystery Batman is great. Because
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
really don't know who's doing it. But if you want like an actual action-packed Batman movie that actually has has a good speed, because the Batman can be slow,
Yeah.
but that's the point of it, and I understand that. Then you go to The Dark Knight. If you want more information on the villains and stuff, you go to Gotham.
Yeah, Gotham is great, especially for going over each of the different character. Like, obviously, there's the Penguin. There's kind of the Joker. The Riddler is in there. Catwoman is in there. There's all there are a ton of characters that are in there. Two-Face is like early Two-Face is in there, I believe. I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember exactly.
Harvey Dent is in there.
Yeah. There's also there's just a whole bunch of really cool characters. Also, I do have to say that Sean Pertwee did a really good job of Alfred.
Oh yes, yes he did.
Yeah. You thought he was gonna die, didn't you?
Yeah, for a sec there.
Yeah, to be fair, like there's no way that they're gonna kill Alfred when Bruce is a kid. So, because he's kind of important for like years and years. Like maybe if Bruce was older, they might do that, but he still has quite a ways to go. but yeah, there's just a whole bunch of really cool characters, and I'm intrigued to see exactly what they're going to be doing. Well, what this could mean for the future of Batman stuff, because even though it's over and it's never going to have another season, I think that it was super important for creating Batman, the Batman, as well as the Joker, or whatever. Yeah, Joker, as well as the sequel, Joker 2, or whatever the fuck it's gonna be called. Um, because obviously, I don't know. It's intriguing to say the least, and I have to say that all of the villains did extremely good, especially freaking Cameron Monaghan as how
that was my
he is so
favorite
good
part.
as the Joker.
Oh, that was my favorite part of that of the series so far, just because of how good he did it.
Yeah, and honestly, like, he is a returning villain. He keeps coming back, and it's just like, holy shit, he is probably one of the best villains of the entire show.
I mean, he is the main, like, if you, like, do it based off of, like, Batman, yeah, you have the different villains, but, like, the one that people keep going back to is always the Joker, so he's, like, the main villain.
Yeah, I'm like, I've imagined several times in the past of, like, what if they had continued doing the series? What if they had, after Gotham, after they had finished up with the story of, finishing up with frickin' Gordon, with Gordon's story, what if they had continued and done more with Bruce being Batman? Like, these actors would have done so good as just continuing the story. Like, developing the relationship with Bruce and Selina is, like, I could absolutely see them eventually becoming a couple, and eventually having, Huntress or whatever, and or even Bruce going on and dealing with the Al Ghuls or whatever, like all of the different big villains of the entire series, or just having more conflict with Joker. Like, maybe it's gonna be maybe it would have been a different Joker, because I'm not gonna spoil things, but certain things happen.
Well, I know that he, like, dies multiple different times.
Yeah, he does die multiple times. But I think, like, and that's another thing as well, is, like, even though he dies several times, I think he has a final death in the at the end of the series. Whether or not that's actually a final death, we'll see. But yeah, but seriously, like, each of the actors did such a good job portraying these characters and their descent into madness for a lot of for almost every single one of these the villains. It honestly feels like you're seeing them descend into their madness, like I said. So,
especially Nigma.
Oh, absolutely. Nigma is such a interesting character, as we see him going from kind of like, he's weird for sure at the beginning, but he slowly descends into madness, and part of it is literally that he wants to do good, but at the same time, like, sometimes he doesn't do things right, and it's so interesting.
I think it's funny that he, like, tries to protect whatever her name is, and yet kills the guy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm intrigued to see, like, if they're going to continue to do like, if what Gotham did as basically as a show, to see if that will continue to lead into what more will happen with, like, I think the best successor from Gotham is probably the Batman. I think that there are absolutely some things that they could have like continued to do from, like continued to take some of the plot points from Gotham and then continued them on into like a Batman series, but they just didn't. I think like part of that might just be because of the fact that the actors wanted to do other things. Like, Cameron is obviously trying to do more with the with Star Wars right now. He's trying to do other things as well. I think I don't know. I don't know much about most of the actors nowadays. I know that what was her name? The actress who plays Leslie Tompkins is like does quite a lot. And I think that yeah, a lot of different characters will actually do like will continue to do some good stuff. I'm just not too familiar exactly with every single one of them. So
yeah, I don't. You look it up and there's not.
Yeah, like let's.
They're not in a lot of stuff. There's like one that is, but like they're not. They haven't been in.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. So. Yeah, David Mazuz or whatever his name is. He's only been in like 3 things since. And apparently he's gonna be in something in 2 other things later. Not too far from now. But most of this stuff, like, I have no idea what any of this is. He apparently was in quite a few things before Gotham. Looks like it was mostly like small things, but yeah. I feel like Ben McKenzie has done a lot, though. I don't remember exactly, though. Let's see here. His IMDb. Oh, really? He hasn't done much in the recent years either.
Weird. Yeah, they really haven't done a whole lot.
Yeah, I think that Cameron might be the one who's done the most then at this point. That at least that I'm aware of, because obviously he's extremely well known for the Star Wars stuff. Especially now.
Like.
And I think that it's really good, especially for him, because of the fact that, for one, they designed Cal as to look like Cameron. So so when they eventually do make put like that stuff into movies and stuff, they could just have him continue to play the character. Like I 100% believe that at some point Cal is going to appear in like Mandalorian or some other Star Wars show moving forward.
Oh, he's been saying that he wants to do live action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he's like, if they do it, I will be all for it.
Yeah, like if they and the other thing is that Jedi Survivor is just the most recent game, but they're probably going to continue to do more. And I honestly would love to see more of his story from both between the 2 games, but also after Survivor, because there's just so much that we could see. I kind of understand why they didn't do much between Survivor and Fallen Order, because they go over basically everything that happens in both the book and then in Survivor. But yeah, have you read that book yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, absolutely. When you get a chance, you absolutely should read it. It was so good. I loved reading to it, listening to it. So yeah. But yeah, so he's done a few. So he's mostly like he's mostly doing Star Wars right now, and he will probably continue to do Star Wars from this point forward. Obviously, Jada Smith as Fish Mooney, she's going to continue to... she might do a little bit less currently because, yeah. And I don't know much about the rest of the characters, but Jada was doing quite a bit before this. I do not I hardly recognize any of the other actors for anything else, though. I can't think of anything else right off the top of my head. So I don't know. Maybe they just like all got kind of stuck in purgatory with with. I feel like some of these other characters, these other actors have done stuff, but I don't know what they've done. Yeah, apparently, well, so far, Erin Richards is like is the most I've seen so far, but she's only done like 23 things. Let's see, Robin Lord, he's probably done some more. Also, can we talk about how Penguin is such a good villain? Or have you seen much of that yet?
Oh, he is good.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I would love to see more from Robin Lord Taylor as just being a villain. Because, like, he mind fucks with you in Gotham. Like, I know you haven't seen too much with that, but he tries to act like a good guy in so many situations, but you know that as soon as the chips are down, he is going to do something to fuck with everything.
Yeah, so I looked it up of like who's the villains of like each season, and you know what the first season villain is?
I don't remember.
It's Penguin.
They just say Penguin. Well, like, Penguin is the villain for like the majority of the show, so it wouldn't surprise me. Like, he honestly, of all of the villains, I would say that probably Penguin is the main villain, followed by Barbara, followed by Jeremiah / Jerome.
Oh yeah, I just saw Barbara.
Yeah.
On like why she went bad.
Yeah, some like a lot of that story is just like really interesting, and I don't want to go into too much detail, obviously, because I want you to enjoy the show. And you've only seen the first season at this point in time, correct?
Yes, I still have like one episode left, but it's they started on the what is it called? Gang war started.
Oh.
Between
oh, the gang war is just starting. there is so much with that.
Oh yeah. Falcone and Maroney.
Yeah.
And then apparently Fish is supposed to come back after she got shot by a sniper through the helicopter.
Honestly, I'm so excited for you to see all of the different characters, and also like just a ton of the smaller villains just occasionally showing up. Like Bane shows up eventually, Poison Ivy shows up eventually, Hugo Strange.
I don't know if that's actual like Poison Ivy.
Wait, what?
The one that's always with Selena Kyle.
There are two different actresses who play Poison Ivy, so it's kind of a nifty situation anyways. So
yeah.
But yeah, so Poison Ivy's there, Hugo Strange is there. I don't remember all of the different characters. Scarecrow's apparently in there.
Oh yeah, I saw him.
Apparently he was played by two different actors, so that's fun.
Well, one's his dad and one's the son.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They did that. And that's another thing as well, is like a lot of the villains, you kind of get the feeling that many of them are probably going to be, if the series had continued, many of them would have just continued to pass on their name, because the only two that I could really feel they were going to continue to be a threat for Bruce is freaking Joker and Catwoman, and maybe or also Penguin. Penguin also would be.
Penguin, because I know they're at the end they.
Yeah.
They're. But that's it.
Yeah, I think that Nigma could absolutely continue to be a main. He absolutely could continue to be the main villain for a while. A main villain for a while, but like a lot of the other characters, like Poison Ivy and who else? Two-Face and other characters like them. It's like they some of them feel like they are a lot. They're quite a bit older than Bruce. So it's just like some of them. It's going to be kind of a question of will that basically just continue to transfer over? Will they change their names or whatever? So yeah. I don't know. It's interesting to say the least. I'm intrigued to see. Like I said, I would love to watch for them to like do another season or 20. So yeah.
I would love for them to do a. I know they do it a lot with movies, and I know that there is a live-action corny Batman show, but I would love to see a live-action Batman show. I know that HBO is doing one with the Batman Penguin.
Yeah.
They should do one with actual Batman.
Yeah. So one thing I will say right now about a lot of the of what I've said this before, and I'll probably say it a few hundred more times, maybe a few thousand, but I think DC really succeeds more when they do TV shows than when they do movies. And it's honestly it's weird to think about because Marvel, on the other hand, does really well when they do movies compared to their shows. Because
but not recently with the Marvel movies.
Yeah, there's been some iffiness with Marvel, and personally, I still am loving every single piece of Marvel media that we're getting. But like early on, especially, Marvel was not doing great when it came to the shows, when it came to the MCU, and like granted nowadays they're actually doing pretty dang good, especially with the Loki series. They're fantastic, and we've talked about. Huh?
I haven't finished Loki.
You need to. Echo was also great. We've already talked about that. At least me and Jack.
Yes.
Me and Jack have talked extensively about it. Not just
Echo was awesome.
Not just with Nerd Chat. Like me and Jack have like gone in depth with
I
it.
know.
So, but and the same thing goes for like a lot of like this all sorts of things with Marvel is that they're kind of transitioning into that series place, I would say, because for one thing, I think that one of the great things about if Marvel continues with the series is that they can develop the world more. They can make more heroes popping up out of the blue. And then the movies can basically just be like, these are the big blockbusters. We want to show these to the huge groups of people. And it's like the team ups and stuff like that. I think that makes a little bit more sense for if they want to continue to do stuff. And that way it's like they can have multiple teams working on the different shows, and they don't have to worry too much about okay, what exactly is coming out. And also I think another thing that they should be doing with Marvel is less direct connections, because a lot of the stuff with Marvel in the current situation is that and where they're kind of like, okay, where do we go from here, is there's too much. Like if anyone wants to get into Marvel now, they have to watch through like 100 different series, 100 different movies and stuff. It's not that many, but still. Like if you want to watch I think, let's see here. I think that frickin' something else YT, even though he's like an animating YouTuber, he did a series or like he did 2 videos where he basically talked about all of the things that you needed to watch in order to be ready for Infinity War. And there's like 50 shows, or not 50. It's a lot of movies, not to mention all of the shows. Like you really should have watched like like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I understand that not everyone's going to watch it, but at the same time, it delved into a lot of the interesting story, and I think that a lot of people should have watched it. Did they? No. But, yeah. I don't know. I think that they could do more, so I'm waiting on that. I want them to do more stuff with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, as well as with the, I don't know. There's other things as well that they probably should have continued to do with the older shows. At least for the Defenders are starting to come back with Deadpool, or not Deadpool, Daredevil. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, for both of those actually, Deadpool and Daredevil are both coming this year. So I'm excited for those, but it's just like, dang. So I don't know. It's interesting to say the least. Like, what exactly are they going to do as they continue with Marvel? And the bigger issue is that as more and more Marvel stuff comes out, people are going to feel like they need to keep up with more and more stuff, and it's actually insane because I've kind of been feeling this as well, where I don't have enough time to watch all of these shows. Like right now, me and my parents have been trying to watch several anime as well as all of these new shows, and we just don't have enough time. And it's actually insane how much there is that we are just behind on. So I don't know. And granted, I'm watching a whole bunch of anime on my own as well that they're not watching. So, I don't know. There's too much. There's too many shows. And I think that that's like one of the big things that people are kind of getting turned off with certain, with especially Marvel, is that there's just too much. And I think that one thing that they, if they are going to continue to do more stuff with Marvel, is take a little bit of a clue from DC and have them less connected, so that people don't necessarily have to stick with every single one of your they don't have to watch every single thing. They can watch the things that they are really interested in, such as like right now, if you really want to watch Echo, you can, and you don't have to have watched like anything else. Maybe Daredevil might be a good idea.
If you want to watch Echo, you have to watch you gotta watch Hawkeye, though.
I mean, debatably, but at the same time, they go over everything that happened in Hawkeye in the show. Like, granted, it's a much shorter amount of time, but yeah.
But if you want more details, you watch Hawkeye.
Yeah, exactly.
And you also watch Daredevil.
Yeah. But you don't have to have watched every single thing beforehand, and I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Like, but yeah, like another thing to think about is like with DC. If you want to, technically, there are a ton of shows that are directly connected into each other. But if you want to watch Young Justice, you don't have to watch anything else. Even though there are shows that are directly connected into it, if you want to
into what?
Into Young Justice.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there are some shows that are actually directly connected into it. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, if you find out about it, you find out about it later, and it's like, oh, that's cool. That's connected to Young Justice.
What show is?
Huh?
What show is connected to Young Justice?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I know that there's something. It's like some frickin' Justice League thing. But there's other things as well.
And I think I finished it, but I think they just started another season.
They might have. Honestly, I haven't kept up with Young Justice in so long because it takes a long time between seasons, and that's like one of the big reasons why I don't have time.
Yeah, because I thought the last season was supposed to be end of it, and then
well,
like,
the thing about Young Justice is just like every single season they think it's gonna be the end,
and yet they come back to it.
Yeah, so that's less that's more of a their issue, and that they can't confirm that it's gonna be happening until way later. So there's that's a different issue. We're not gonna get into that whole debacle right now, but yeah,
but like they started at Cartoon Network, and then went off Cartoon Network for years, and then came back on HBO.
Yeah, and that's another thing as well, is like not Gotham. Young Justice has basically done a lot of weird things. I don't know. It's kind of gone back and forth. Also, another thing that I have to say is, like, what is DC's obsession with Cyborg? Like, he's in every single thing. Like, that's not even...
like he's in Young Justice, he's in Doom Patrol, he's in Justice League, and it's like, what is going on?
Yeah, he's in literally everything that has to do with the Teen Titans. And it's just like, holy fucking shit, why is there so much of him? So, I don't know.
I don't know. Like they went from Batman, let's do a whole bunch of Batman stuff, which there is, to Superman, let's do a whole bunch of Superman stuff, which there is.
Yeah.
And then it's like, let's just stick with cyborgs and stick him in everything.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. That's what HBO's mindset is like. Ooh, Batman, let's do Batman stuff. Ooh, Superman, let's do Superman stuff.
Titans had 4 seasons?
Yeah. I haven't finished.
I am so behind. Holy shit. I thought that I thought that had been canceled, because it was like a lot of people really didn't like it.
Yeah, it's the last season though.
That's sad. Honestly, I really did enjoy Titans. I know that a lot of people didn't, but I don't know.
Titans good.
Yeah. Honestly, I want to watch more of a lot of the different DC shows, but there's just no time. So.
Yeah. What also bugs me with DC that Marvel doesn't do is that DC or whoever makes a video game, and like Arkham Knight, for instance, or Gotham Knights, for instance, and then they go and try to make a TV show off of it, and then it just ruins everything.
Wait, when have they done that? I did not know that.
So the Gotham Knights.
I had no idea they did that.
Gotham Knights video. Yeah. Gotham Knights video game came out, and then CW's like, ooh, that's a good idea, and did a Gotham Knight, tried to do a Gotham Knight TV show, which was great, but they didn't do the characters that it was based off of, which was Robin, Red Hood, Batgirl, and Nightwing. They made their own characters.
Weird.
And then with Arkham Knight, the story of like Arkham Knight and Red Hood, which is a lot in the comics. They took basically the story with Scarecrow and stuff from the Arkham Knight video game and incorporated it into the season of Titans. So that does bug me, because they can't think of their own stories to do.
Weird.
They just take stuff from the video game. It's like, ooh, that's a good idea. Let's make a TV show out of it.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say that DC does its best work when they're doing something that you don't think of as DC.
Oh yes. Like Sweet Tooth is one of them.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth. Lucifer. Frickin' Sandman. iZombie. I know you haven't watched iZombie, but you should. But yeah, like there's a ton of shows that you're like, wait, that's DC? And then you're like, and then you watch it and it's like, holy shit, this is really good.
I haven't watched Sweet Tooth.
Huh? I thought you said that you did.
I haven't.
I thought you watched Sweet Tooth.
I watched like the first three episodes.
Okay. You need to.
I haven't finished.
You need to finish it. It's good. It's so good. Also, iZombie. I know you're less interested in that, since it is a zombie thing, but it's really good. It's I think that if you're enjoying Gotham at this point in time, I think that you're really going to enjoy iZombie because it is a detective show.
Oh, Gotham is great.
Yeah. And it's literally about how the main character eats brains and then she gets their memories, and it's really interesting. So
that's probably the one part that would gross me out. Eating brains.
They do try to keep that a little bit less, but that's mostly because of the fact that she's trying to hide the fact that she's a zombie. So yeah, I don't know. I think that you would absolutely love iZombie. I know that there's absolutely going to be some things that are going to be gross, but at the same time, it's like it's really good. And one of the big it's also like, how do we keep zombies from getting out in the how do we keep them from people from finding them out and stuff like that. Well, also there's other people who are like, let's make more zombies, and then eventually it devolve. Like, I do have to say that the later seasons are kind of like, oh, okay, because like half of the population is zombies, or technically it's even more. I think it's like 90% of the population of the city is like zombies by the end. So there's that. But yeah, I think well, not I don't think they're all zombies by that point. I think that I think it's just like the last season, 90% of the population is zombies, and then they figure out a cure. I could be wrong about that though. So, yeah, absolutely watch iZombie when if you get the chance. Because I think you would really enjoy it. Especially the early stuff. Especially
that one's on Tubi as well.
I do not doubt that. It's also on Netflix, isn't it? Or did they change that? They might have gotten.
It used to be on Netflix. Oh, it's still on Netflix.
Well, it's a CW show, so I would assume that it would still be there. Yeah, it's still there. Like early,
then I just go to CW on there.
Yeah, early CW shows, pretty much everything is still on Netflix because they have the rights. So.
Yeah, but CW's trying to do more with their streaming service and like try to get everything onto one platform, which is helpful.
Yeah. Well, it's all going to Max now, isn't it?
Some of it is.
Okay.
Netflix took like a whole bunch of DC stuff and put it on Netflix has it now.
Yeah.
Like all the movies.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's like
except for the Dark Knight trilogy.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that are kind of just like an iffy situation on, because I don't know. There are so many freaking streaming services nowadays. It's hard to keep track of it all.
Yep, some of them are free. Or you have to pay.
Yeah, like I'm completely fine with paying for like Crunchyroll or Netflix or Disney Plus. Especially now that Disney Plus is taking on Hulu, it's like, thank you, you're saving me money.
Disney owns Hulu.
Yeah, but like the Hulu stuff is going on to Disney Plus now.
Oh yeah.
So
I think Disney itself is trying to combine Hulu and Disney Plus and just make it onto one platform.
Yeah, and I think they're also planning on doing the same thing with the ESPN Plus. I could be wrong about that though.
Yeah, because I don't know if you have it, but I know We do because we did the Disney and Hulu bundle during Black Friday that was cheap, and so it has a beta of Hulu
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, I think I currently have the access to the beta. I don't know for sure though.
Well, that'd be cool if they did that, and then you just click on that, and there's all your stuff for
Yeah, I think like every anime from that was on Hulu is currently on there, so it's like, yay, thank you. So technically you can watch like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so technically you can watch everything, a whole shit ton of anime on Disney Plus now. Granted, a lot of it is also on Crunchyroll, but it gives you an extra option in case you don't have Crunchyroll at this point. Like, I'm just looking through the list of things currently. Here, let's go all the way to the beginning of this list that I've currently got. So if we start at the beginning, so we've got Devil's a Part-Timer, Naruto, Bleach, Undead Unluck, Attack on Titan, MHA, Tokyo Revengers. There's more, but I'm just skipping over things. Spy Family, One Punch Man, Horimiya. I think that's just the missing pieces though, so I don't know if they have the actual series. Boruto, Demon Slayer, including the frickin' movies. Cowboy Bebop, Naruto, Fire Force, Demon Slayer, Fairy Tail, Sailor Moon, Fruits Basket, Full Metal Alchemist, Yu-Gi-Oh! Tons of Yu-Gi-Oh! Holy shit. Zom 100, Your Lie in April, Inuyasha stuff, frickin' Wise Man's Grandchild, Wandering Witch, Vampire Knight. That was Netflix. Why is it here? Wandering Witch, Trigun stuff, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, World Ends With You is back. The Sacred Blacksmith, I have no idea what that is. Shield Hero, Promise Neverland, Case Study of Vanitas, Slime Reincarnation, SAO if you give a shit.
My Hero.
I did say My Hero. That was like one of the early ones I said. Spice and Wolf, Soul Eater is on there. Snow White with the Red Hair is there.
I'm sad that they canceled that.
Read the manga. Read the manga, dude. It's literally right there. But yeah, I've lost track of where I was. But yeah, there's like the fact that I'm just seeing like all of these anime is just like, holy shit, that's amazing that you can watch all of these things on Disney Plus now. And I think like part of it might be because of the fact that Hulu wasn't going to a lot of other countries, so Disney Plus was having them anyways over in other countries. So they decided to just, let's conglomerate it. Let's get it all into one system so that people don't have to be spending they don't have to spend their money on multiple different things if they want to watch these things. Because for one thing that I've noticed that certain people will do is they'll just switch off what things that they want to have a subscription to at the time, because it's just easier. Like Astrid is currently subscribed to Disney Plus because there's a lot more stuff on there right now, but was subscribed to Netflix for a while, stopped subscribing to it because of that. Like, if you have the income in order to actually pay for multiple services, then great, but not everyone does. So kind of getting the condensing down into into just a few different services is so freaking helpful. And that's kind of the same thing that's happened with Crunchyroll recently, is they've realized, okay, so we had Verve, which had a lot of different services. It had Rooster Teeth, it had Crunchyroll stuff, and I think High Dive was on there. But they've condensed it down so that all of the Verve stuff, all of the Crunchyroll stuff, all of the I'm forgetting the last. There was another service that they did, but all of it is currently on Crunchyroll, and you can just watch a lot of it. Oh, Funimation, that's what I was thinking of. So you can just watch everything from Funimation, from Crunchyroll, from and from Verve, all in one place nowadays. And it's really helpful because now people don't have to go to all of these places. And I know that you don't really like Crunchyroll, but at the same time, it has helped to make a lot of things easier. So.
And it's got all the stuff from Funimation and everything.
Yeah, they've added everything from Funimation onto Crunchyroll now, and I think that Funimation is coming to a close actually. Because
maybe once I get a job and start working, I'll look into it.
Yeah. And it's a one-shop spot because it's like obviously you have all of your different series and stuff like that, but they also have like apparently they have games and a store, which I haven't touched any of that yet. But if you for people who are interested, we are not sponsored by any of these people. Let me just make that very clear. But at the same time, they streaming services are realizing, okay, even this making it so that there are fewer services means that there are going to be less people. We may get a little bit less money, but at the same time, it's going to save people. It's going to save people money, and then they'll be more willing to spend that money on our services. Because, yeah. So at this point in time, if you have Disney Plus, Crunchyroll, and Netflix, I can practically watch everything that I want to see right now. Granted, at the same time, there is like some stuff with High Dive. High Dive is still separate.
High Dive just combined to make it all on one platform.
I think that if High Dive was going to combine with anything, it's probably going to combine with Prime, because they have a little bit more connection with them. So yeah. I do pay for Prime because of the fact that Prime is so effective, especially here in the conglomerate. But yeah, so like at the same time, it's like so there's a lot of things with that, and it's like, but yeah, that's like the same kind of thing. It's like all these different places. With just a few different, it's way fewer services. People are spending less money, but they're also getting more bang for their buck. And and it's like these people own a whole bunch of these companies, so it's like, why not just combine them? And with like the Crunchyroll situation, the main reason that they do the whole that they have the conglomeration that they do is because of the fact that they want to they're basically fighting against the pirates. They're not fighting against each other. They're trying to make it there be an easy way to access all of your anime no matter where you are. And that's honestly that's great for them. I'm so glad that they're doing it. Because they're not competing with Netflix. They're not competing with Disney. They're not Crunchyroll and Funimation are not really competing with each other. They're competing with the pirates, and as such, it allows them to by working together. It means that people have a spot that they can watch all of their anime without pirating it, and it's fantastic, especially considering the fact that it's not as much money as it used to be.
How much is Crunchyroll right now?
It's pretty dang cheap. I think like at most like $15 a month. I don't even think it's that much. I think it's way less.
I think last time I checked it was like 10.
Yeah. So I don't think it's 15. I think it might be 10. I don't know off the top of my head. I probably could just look at my bill and see what it is, but it's yeah. But I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But yeah, that's like it's interesting because like if you're not making that much money, you can now you can watch a lot of your favorite shows without necessarily having to go to all of these different places. Like if you have Disney Plus, Crunchyroll, Netflix, then you probably have every single show you want to watch. Like granted, there are a few, there are absolutely a few that are just like kind of a little that are a bit more challenging to watch. Like anything from DC, you have to get HBO, or rather Max now. That's what it's called. But yeah, it's like Max, Disney, Prime, Netflix, and Crunchyroll, and that's everything. That is legitimately every single stream. That's every major streaming service at this point in time, because Hulu is dying, Funimation is dying, Verve has died, and CW is dying as well. Like, granted, they're fine because they can just be like, we'll continue to make our shows, but we're gonna like if you want to watch it, like, if you want to watch the show after it's aired, then you could go to Max because they still get money from that. I think. So, they're fine. They're whatever. But those are the it's interesting to say the least. Like all of these different things. So I don't know. I'm intrigued to see like what exactly could be next in store for all of these companies because, well, they've done good, and they're kind of figuring out that if they want to make more money, putting everything in one spot is actually really effective. So, and then everyone gets a piece of the pie. So, more shows are being watched, and like, and they're also fighting less against pirates, they're fighting against the pirates, so that they don't have to be dealing with people who are pirating their stuff nowadays. Like, honestly, that's another thing as well. When was the last time that you really thought about the pirates? Do you...
Been a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
Huh?
Probably since high school when Hunter was doing.
Yeah, exactly. There's way less pirating that's happening nowadays, and that is incredible to think about. That they've by limiting the number of streaming services, they are considerably getting rid of pirates. And like, granted, there are still going to be pirates. There will always be pirates, but
the pirates like.
But at the same time, it's way less. They're fighting against that whole amount of chaos, and that's another thing as well with the streaming services is that, by having like like Disney especially is a great example of this. By having every single one of their movies, every single one of their shows, not to mention special features like about how things were assembled and stuff like that, they can people can just go to Netflix and check out all of this stuff. Like Percy Jackson, for example.
Not all their shows are on there.
Not everything, no. But like so much of it is.
There's like one show that is still on Netflix. That is not on Disney Plus.
Which one?
Bunk.
Huh?
Bunk.
Oh, that show. They probably still have rights to it. That's the problem.
Yeah. But like, you go onto Netflix, and since Disney Plus came, everything that was on Netflix disappeared.
Yeah. And honestly, that's kind of a good thing because it meant that, well, granted, a lot of people are no longer people are using Netflix way less. Netflix is also starting to realize, okay, what do we do from here on out? Because we can't rely on the big. Yeah. So it's still kind of interesting though, because I still go to Netflix because that is where you get your frickin' whatchamadoodle stuff. Your what am I thinking? The
Netflix originals.
Well, yes, but that's not what I'm talking. That's not specifically the company that I'm talking about. DreamWorks. That's where you get your DreamWorks stuff. Everything DreamWorks because of the fact that DreamWorks and Netflix have such a close connection right now. You can watch anything, nearly everything from DreamWorks on Netflix. It's not everything for sure, But at the same time, if you want to watch something from DreamWorks, you can just go on Netflix. And I think that, honestly, if DreamWorks really wanted to work harder on making movies, I think they could probably be competing against Disney again, because they have such a close connection with DreamWorks, or such a close connection with Netflix. Because Netflix is the main group that's fighting that is the competitor with Disney at this point in time. And granted, they have a lot of really good shows with their nearly every Netflix original is really good. Like The Order, Ragnarok, Lockwood and Co. Granted, a lot of these things are over now. Wednesday, Lock and Key, and so on and so forth.
I am excited for what is it called? Umbrella Academy to come back.
Yep, Umbrella Academy's coming back.
What was the Umbrella Academy, Dragon Prince? There was another one.
I know that freaking Avatar is coming. Which, speaking of which, for those of you who are wondering, we will actually be doing something about watching that. We're not exactly certain on exact details yet, but we're trying to figure out exactly like what is the best option, and maybe doing like a roasting / something with that. So look forward to that.
I don't know how I feel about it. But
yeah, I think that we will watch it, and then at least a few episodes as a group, just to say, okay, we watched it. What do we think? Especially since all of us have watched the entire series, including Korra, right? You've watched Korra?
I've watched all of Korra, and I've watched all of
the main series,
Avatar multiple times.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the movie?
Show when I'm bored.
Did you ever watch that movie?
No, I never did.
Yeah, and
I've heard that it was so bad that I never watched.
And I think that was like kind of the big thing for like I've seen bits and pieces of it, and I'm just like disgusted by what they did, and I'm just like, yeah, no, thank you. I did consider watching it before I watched the series, since I did get the I didn't watch the series for a lot longer than other people did, but it's just like, from what I've seen, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. So, I don't know. We were supposed to be talking about Gotham in this video, but that's okay.
Oh yes. That went totally off. Anyway.
Yeah,
this has been fun.
This has been Nerd Chat. Look forward to next week when maybe we'll talk about something. Anyways, guys. Yeah.
Hopefully Percy Jackson.
Hopefully Percy Jackson. Jack needs to finish that. Oh, that's what we should have told Jack to watch. He should have watched. He needed to finish Percy Jackson.
Yeah, but would you really want to watch that while you're sick?
Yes. Anyways, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this Nerd Chat, and we will see you guys next time. But on.